What are we doing? We've prepared the crescent canner jars and the lids. The lids are in hot water. The jars are here. Into a large pot, combine orange juice, 1 cup of, half a cup of soy sauce.
Is this half a cup?
Yeah, that's half a cup. 10 bottles of soy sauce.
Oh, it's nice and thick and gloopy at the end of the bottle there.
Make a mess, Scarlet.
Good,
Make a mess, yeah.
You know, got to make a bit of a mess.
This is Scarlet canning at Stickleton.
Hello!
Yeah, right. So half a cup of soy sauce, 4 tablespoons of lime juice. Let's put that in the washing up.
Need to clean up the mess as well. See, if that was sweet and sugary, I could lick it, but I'm not licking that.
Tablespoon.
Right, what was it? 4?
Lime juice. Little bottle.
I feel like a child here. With my mummy teaching me like 4 of these.
Yeah.
1 in, 2.
That's only the bits of lime, that's okay.
3 nearly. Go on, out you come. Da, da, da. Make sure it's full. 4.
2 tablespoons of ground cumin.
2.
Yeah.
1.
You need to tickle it out.
It's coming.
We're canning up beef street tacos. That's what we're doing.
Now I'm having my first canning experience, even though I've got 2 canners at home.
Yeah. Right. 2 tablespoons of garlic powder.
2-ish.
Yeah, 2-ish. I don't mind ishes.
A dollop of this and a splash of that.
Yeah. 2 teaspoons of salt. We're going to use the pink Himalayan salt.
I love pink Himalayan salt, better than sea salt. Don't you find?
I can't say I notice a difference personally. No.
2 teaspoons.
Yeah, that's a teaspoon. And then 2 teaspoons of onion powder.
1, 2.
And 2 teaspoons of ground coriander. Special Stickleton ground coriander.
Dehydrated and grown by you.
Yeah, it's the seeds. Some from the seeds, the powder is.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. 1 teaspoon of black pepper. And half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper.
That was half a tablespoonful, yeah?
Half a teaspoon. Use the adjuster.
Like that?
Yeah, it'll tell you.
Oh, that's cool.
That's 2, that's it, half.
Ooh, technology, I've never seen one of them before.
Right.
There we go, all done.
There we go. I'll stick that on the stove and we need the meat cut up into chunks. Buffalo.
Some lovely buffalo there, look, see? I met buffalo earlier. No, well, not this particular buffalo. You do realise you've got an award-winning caterer here doing this with you.
Oh, have you?
I've won a bronze medal for my catering.
What did you cater?
We did kitchen replacements for folk. We did buffets. I've done buffets for Mr. Keller. What was he? The gentleman that owns Lay's, that was Walker's. PepsiCo. He was flown in with his helicopter. I'm assuming this is cubes, yeah?
Yes, cubes.
Do you want the fat cut off?
Not necessarily, no, because it will, under pressure, it will all melt down.
Dissolve and disappear. I've done quality catering for events, all sorts of things. And we had a spot check and got a bronze medal on a spot check. That's not bad, is it?
We're going to raw pack the meat.
You know what it?
Raw packing. Raw packing is when we're not cooking up the meat beforehand. We're just going to stick it in the jars raw, top it up with the liquid, and then stick it in the pressure canner. And we're going to do 10 pound of pressure for 75 minutes in 1 pint jars. All the jars have been washed.
You've not pressed record. Oh, you have?
I have pressed record.
You have too. Mine does. When I see the red button, it means I've stopped. So it was all, what did you say, how many pressure points?
10 pound of pressure.
And isn't there something to do with being above sea level and
Altitude
mountains
and
altitude?
everything else, yeah. And then you start increasing it to down at actual sea level, is it £5 of pressure? And then you hear over £10 of pressure. I'm not sure, you'd have to look that
And
one up.
how do you know your pressure is that then?
Because you can look it up. And there's a little chart, there's lots of little charts on the internet which tell you your canning pressure for your area.
So wherever you are in the world, you can put your postcode in, it'll tell you your canning pressure.
It'll tell you your altitude, and then there is a chart. I believe it might, let's see if it's in this book. The book we're using is Pressure Canning for Beginners and Beyond by Angie Schneider.
I'm definitely a beginner.
Right, let's see if she has got a chart.
Here we go.
How to pressure can, get
Are you happy with
creative.
those cubes?
Temperature and altitude, there we go, 21. Yeah.
Do we need onions today or anything,
No,
or is that
no,
it?
no,
And are we
that's it.
marinating this then?
No, it's going to get pressure canned with the liquid.
Ah, so the liquid is warming up.
Right. The altitudes are 0 to 1,000 feet is £10 of pressure. And then it goes up 15, 15, 15, 15, 15.
Oh, so it's either 10 or 15.
Yeah. On a dial gauge, it's 11, 12, 13s, 14s, 15s. Weighted gauge in, I don't know what that is, kilopascal, and dial gauge in kilopascal.
Oh, that's a new word, I'm going to have to Google that.
Yeah. So, yeah, so you can look up your altitude and then it'll tell you whether you need to do 10 or a £15.
Right.
£10 is down at sea level. Sea level up to 1,000. We're 1,000 here, just slightly under 1,000.
Oh, cool. I'll just wash my hands.
Yeah. Right, you're going to pack that meat into them jars,
Nice.
leaving a 1-inch headspace. This gauge tells me all these little notches. So that one is 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, 1/4 of an inch. Depending on what you're doing, has different headspaces. This is 1 inch, so we need, if you look
That is clever.
to the bottom of the rim. So right to the top of the shoulder, that is 1 inch. So we want the meat packed to there.
Now I'm just going to mix the meat then, so we get an even distribution of types of meat, rather than get lean all in one and fatter in another. that a good point?
Yeah.
You'd see. Right, so let's shove it all in. Are we pushing it down, or are we just dropping it in?
Drop it all in. Let's see how far we get. I need a bigger kitchen. Right, so we're going to get 3 1-pint jars, right? That's why we're doing it in the Instant Pot, because we can cope with smaller quantities in the Instant Pot. Right, this is the important part of canning. And a lot of people fail to do this, and then they get bad seals.
Oh, you've got to wipe the top with vinegar, they say.
No, I don't use vinegar. You just use water, and it's just to get any grease or anything off the rim. But we're going to do that after we put the liquid in.
Right, so we're going to pour the liquid in that's been warming up on the Rayburn.
So we're going to divide this between the jars.
It really is quite a simple procedure by the looks of this.
It is, yeah.
I thought you'd need to put onions in, but you've got the onions.
It depends what you're doing. Right. When we start putting the liquid in, we use this. It's called a debubbler. And it's to knock. It's like you can see you've got air pockets there.
Yes.
So using the debubbler, you're knocking out air pockets.
Oh, it's bubbling, look.
Yeah, you don't want air pockets in your canned food, because then you run a risk of botulism and everything else, because you've got air in, and air is what carry diseases and germs and bugs and all of that. So we debubble, get the air out, get the liquid down.
So I suppose you have to be careful not to pack it too tightly, otherwise you're not going to get the liquid around
And
everything.
also, if you get it too tight, you can't, the heat, the temperature isn't going to penetrate into the middle.
And does it expand inside?
It'll probably shrink, actually.
Oh, right.
Meat usually shrinks.
So we've got some left over to top up when you've got rid of the bubbles, when you've debubbled.
Yeah. So debubbling is an important part.
I imagine debubbling probably sounds very nice in French. Probably got a very posh word for it.
I'm sure you know it.
Somebody will probably know in the comments. I think America's the biggest in this pressure canning, aren't they?
There we go. That looks about right.
Because I'm on a lot of American sites.
You want to wipe away?
I'll just show me wiping one. Oh, Dawn's taking over camera work.
Right. So dip it in that water in there.
And that's just plain water?
That's just plain water. Wipe around the rim, getting rid of any grime, food debris or anything that's there.
Oh, and there actually was some there. Look at that. There was actually.
And that's what can stop you getting a good seal.
So it's worth doing a good job of that. Right. Oh, and you've got the magnetic thingy.
Yeah, lid lifter.
I haven't got one of those yet.
So
I'm going to go in there and get one.
Yeah,
you're going fishing.
You want to get a lid. Very often it'll pick several up at once.
It has. Right.
Right, lid on. Once the lid is on, screw a ring on.
And it's just finger tight. I know that much, isn't it? Just there, yeah? Or do you go tighter?
Perhaps a little bit more.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you want to not get your fingers on the inside of that? Are you going to be careful?
Well, the temperature is going to kill off any germs. And I mean, you have washed your hands, so there shouldn't really be anything. Unless you've got grease or oil on your hands.
And there's raw meat in there anyhow, isn't there?
Yeah.
So. And these you can only use once, can't you? But you can use the bands.
No.
Oh, tell me.
I would say you can use them more. Usually when I've used them, providing the lid isn't damaged in any way and buckled or anything, then I will reuse it.
Can you check if that's too tight or tight enough?
purpose of the ring is to hold the flat on. And they're now going to go in the pressure canner. Oh, I've got to put tea towel on the bottom, sorry. I haven't got a trivet for this one. Tea towel. And we don't want the jars rattling around on the bottom, on the metal.
Yeah, I've seen them in Hungary when they do the water, excuse me, water canning. They have a piece of cardboard in the bottom.
Oh, right.
And it's that easy.
I'm going to put the lid on.
I have really got to get my pressure canners out and wipe the 3 inches of dust off the top of them. Oh, and this one even talks to you.
It does, yeah. Right, so now I want to go pressure. High, keep warm function off. And I want, 1 hour 15 minutes. I believe that's it.
Oh my. So I think the biggest thing for me if I was doing this would be actually getting it out of the box and starting the job. Because that's nothing, is it?
And as long as you've got your recipe and you've got everything ready, that's all it is.
So it's done then, yeah?
Yeah, so let's open up this bad boy.
Quite excited about it.
Eh?
Oh, it even talks to you. I'm quite excited about this.
Yeah, see. Valve has dropped, there's no steam coming out.
Hello.
You should always open with the lid away from you
Yeah.
so that any steam doesn't burst out and scald your face.
Quite nasty, wouldn't it? Oh, look, it's still. Oh, look at that bubbling.
It's still cooking.
Wow. That's amazing. Oh my goodness.
We've got no seepage, as you can see, there's no seepage in there.
I'm glad I'm not being trusted to get them out.
Now, a lot of people I have seen try and use it like that, the black end's down.
Oh.
That is the wrong way.
Right.
The black bit is for you to hold. That is shaped to grip the jar under the lid.
Look at that. Oh, that just looks amazing.
There we go.
I just can't believe it's still bubbling so well.
Mm.
It really looks good.
That's because of the high temperature in there. It is really, really high.
So how long do you leave them now before
You leave them until they are completely cold.
So the next day?
Usually overnight, yeah.
That's it then. And when are these going to start going ping? 'Cause I hear the lids go ping, don't they?
When they start cooling down.
So that would be in a couple of hours?
Maybe sooner. Can be in a few minutes.
You mean we might witness a ping now?
I don't know. Might not.
And that's the suction creating. So if it pings, it's definitely a good seal.
Yeah. I mean, this one to me, no, that one hasn't. You see the little dome? When that dome goes down, that's the ping. It's sort of ding, it goes like a dull ding. And that is a sign of it sealing. And once it has sealed, we can then remove the outer rings, wipe the jars down, label them, put them on the shelf.
Exciting. If you'd put in that, say, carrots and potatoes and things, you would have still pressure cooked it for the same length of time?
Yes, because you go by the item that takes the longest.
Which would be the meat,
Yeah.
to be safe. And how tender is that going to be because of this cooking process?
Fall apart.
Really?
Yeah, fall apart.
And have you noticed a difference in the taste?
No, not really. Because most of my buffalo meat I cook in the pressure cooker anyway. Because I don't have time to be, I'm either pressure cooking it or slow cooking it because I don't have time to stand around doing fancy meals. So it has to be quick and easy, and the pressure cooker and the electric pressure cooker and the slow cooker are perfect, or I just bung them in the bottom of the oven and they cook away all day.
It's So that is how easy it has been. I'm definitely going to go and do some more looking into this, do some canning very quickly. Definitely going to get one of those, what is it called?
Instant pot.